Question, well, maybe if the school district would pay them more, then maybe they would stay. You know, I've asked myself that question more than once. And I've always just tried to figure out what I could do. So, that's just something that happens this time of year. But things did turn around. And I had the first indication that things would turn around when I remember my head custodian, Mr. Johnson. He came to my office with a smile on his face and he said, "Nobody asked for boxes." So I looked at him perplexed. I said, "What are you talking about, Mr. Johnson? Nobody asked for boxes." He said, "The way it goes is this time of year, teachers start asking for boxes because they're about to leave. And guess what? Nobody is asking for boxes." So I said, "Oh my goodness, that means that the teachers are not going to leave." Well, I understood what I did and I understood what I needed to do. And I want to share that with you today. So, our topic is critical ways for principals to develop and retain good teachers. Now, I want to welcome you to Principals on the Come Up, where we transform schools into hallelujah success stories. My name is Barbara Polk, and I am known as a turnaround principal. So each week I come on, I ask the question, or I set out to get the question answered, how the average principal gets to the level they know that they can. They know that they can do what it is that they have been assigned to do. So if you're out there, I want you to go to the chat, go to the comment section, and I want you to tell me who you serve, whether you are a principal or whether you're assistant principal or whether you're just a parent who's interested in how things operate. And I also want you to take a minute to share this with another principal or another colleague, because there's some principals out there who really need this information, because we are in the business of transforming schools and transforming principals into hallelujah success stories. As a new principal, it was really tough for me. I didn't know what I would do because I wasn't finding the teachers that I needed. My school was a low performing campus and nobody wanted to come there. It had a terrible reputation. So I would use the teacher list that they would send me from the alternative certification programs. I would use the referrals from human resources. I would use the list of applicants that I had interviewed at the job fair, but I didn't have any luck getting and retaining those teachers. But I figured out 3 ways that I could help those teachers and also help my students and help the community develop into a school where people were proud, where the community was proud. And there are 3 distinct things that I did that helped to turn that school around. And the first thing is that we've had focused interaction on our teachers. The second thing, we made sure we had a productive climate. And the third thing was strategic management. Because all of those things just don't happen by themselves. You have to have a plan and you have to have a system in place. So why focused interaction with teachers is critical? Well, the first thing you want to do, it seems like it's just common sense, but you have to observe your teachers. Now, as a new principal or as a returning principal, there are so many things that you are doing. You're planning for state assessments, and you have human resources coming at you saying, "We need your recommendations for renewing contracts." And you say, "Okay, well, I really don't know whether I'm going to be able to recommend the right person, or this person doesn't have the credentials that I thought they were going to get. So I just don't know what to do." So in order to keep you from being frantic and having those kinds of issues going through your mind, along with everything else that you have to do as a principal, you are going to have to develop your teachers. And the first way to develop your teacher is by observing your teacher. So when you observe your teacher, You're coaching your teacher. You're helping that teacher understand data. You're helping that teacher understand those metrics. Remember when you took your exam and you studied all of the practice material you had for your data understanding? It was clear because you were just using some data that wasn't attached to anybody. However, your teachers are using data that is attached to the students that they're teaching. And it is critical, principals, for you to get those teachers coached. It is critical for you to get those teachers to understand the data and to get them comfortable where they can understand the data. The second thing is that we have to change the environment. You have to create a productive environment for your teachers. And the way you create a productive environment for your teachers is to build teacher leadership. So how do you build teacher leadership? Well, you simply build teacher leadership by collaboration, by letting them lead something, giving them the steps that they need. We know we talked about communication, and we have to understand how to communicate with our faculty and with our staff. And we know that there's certain ways that we communicate with different types of people. Different types of adults have different communication styles, the same way our students have different learning styles. So we have to build that collaboration. We have to build that teacher leadership, get them to do something that they can be successful at. Will they make mistakes? Absolutely. They will make mistakes. Just like us, when we learn and we're building, they will make mistakes. But we as principals have to be there to support them. You also have to build a sense of trust. If your students and your teachers and your community do not trust you, you are not going to be a successful school. You have to build a sense of trust. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're not going to do it, don't be wishy-washy and changing your mind. If you have a situation with central administration where they have told you to do something that's just the opposite from what you are doing on your campus, you have to be there to stand for your teachers and stand for your students and figure out a way to balance everything. That is how you create a positive climate on your campus. The next thing is that you have to be committed towards school improvement. Your teachers have to understand your vision. If you are a school that is in need of improvement, or if you are a school that just needs improvement, as all schools do, all schools are working towards that. You have to be committed towards the school improvement. That is how you change the climate. Everybody has to understand that these are the things that we need in order to improve our school. And we have to be committed. Committed simply means that we are there through thick and thin, through the ups and the downs, because we are committed to seeing this school improve. And that's how you empower your teacher leadership, by being there for them, giving them the support that they need. You are empowering those principals, those teachers. You are giving them professional development. You are giving them mentorship. And mentorship simply means I am there to support you. If you have a teacher on your campus and you see that that teacher is a dynamic teacher and there's an opportunity for you to showcase all of their talents, you become a mentor for them. And you say, I've submitted your name to present at such and such a conference. And I trust you, and I've observed you. I know just what you can do. And I want other people to see that you are a person who is committed to our vision. The other thing is that you're going to have to be focused on the social emotional support of your students. Your students will support you, and you have to support them in social and emotional respects. Not only your students, but also the social emotional things that support your teachers. That is how you create a productive climate on your campus. And the third, and probably the most critical way to develop your teachers and to retain good teachers is to know how to strategically manage your resources. Now, your resources are your time, your resources are your talent, your resources are your funding. You have to strategically manage your resources. Now, we talked about getting into classrooms and observing your teachers. Well, that isn't something that happens by accident. You have to have something in place where you can focus on the time to support instruction. We've talked about in the past about something like a Trello board or something like Slack or something that you have in place where you can strategically say, this is what I have to do today. Even if you have decided that I'm going to visit 5 classrooms a day. Now, you may be able to follow one of your little troublesome students, and you don't have to be in that classroom 30 minutes. You can be in that classroom 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Remember, you are focusing on one area with that teacher. If you see that they are developing, you want to move them on up to proficient. And you and that teacher, the support that you're giving them, you are working on that area to move that teacher to that next level. And it doesn't take but 5 or 10 minutes. Then go back to whatever you have planned and then follow the schedule of your little loved one and see how he operates or she operates in those classes, and then see how the teacher's instruction is. So you're going to have to focus your time. You're going to have to be strategically managing that resource, and that's your resource for time. And the other thing is that you are going to have to manage your decisions about hiring. So once you do get to the position that you do have teachers coming to your school, you do have people wanting to submit their application to come to your school because of the success that you have had, and because you have developed your other teachers will encourage your teachers from another school, another district. They can say, I'm really enjoying it over here at this school. And I understand we're going to have an opening in math. And I certainly would want you to come here because you get the support that you need. Your principal lifts you up and gives you leadership opportunities. So you're going to have to make strategic decisions about hiring these people. And then you're going to have to make a decision about where you're going to place them. Now, I know it seems very, very simple. So, well, we have an opening in ELAR. They're certified in ELAR. So I'm just going to place them there. Well, maybe you need to look at your entire department. Maybe you need to make some changes from 6th grade to 7th grade or 8th grade. You're going to have to be strategic with that. And principals, you cannot make this decision alone. You cannot make the decision alone. You are going to have to meet with the leadership team that you have developed, and you're going to have to trust your people. Trust your people. That's the way you keep your good teachers on your campus. That's how you develop your good teachers. Do and show them that you trust them. And that is how you retain your teachers. There was a story of a teacher who was already assigned to the school before I got there. And she was an ELA teacher. And because we had collaborations, because we had discussions on the campus, we found out that she was tutoring her kids with ELA and also in math. And we found out that she was an excellent math teacher. Well, as things would happen when you're in a school that, is building its way up, sometimes, you get people to leave during the beginning of the school year and you're just in a position, so, well, I don't know where I'm going to get somebody to teach that class. So this teacher, we looked at moving her from ELA to math. And she had to do it over the weekend. You say, oh my God, did that teacher just get very upset and very, besides herself because you told her to do that? Well, you see, the thing is, when you are developing teachers, the word gets around that you're not being mean to them. The word gets around that we have a vision where we want to improve our students. We want to improve our test scores. And if you have developed your teacher will say, I do think I can make an impact in math better than what I am in ELA. ELA is good. ELA, the ELA department is good. The scores are coming up, but that math is just kicking us in the butt. And you are the one that we chose. And you embrace the change. You give that teacher all the support that they need. You surround them with any type of instructional support that they may need. And that teacher today, as a matter of fact, is still a math teacher, and she is an excellent teacher. The last and one of the most important things when you are making strategic decisions about hiring and placing and retaining your teachers is that this little bit of information may save you in the long run. Sometimes when you're a new principal and you get a teacher in and you are looking at the resume, but you are not looking at how that teacher is certified, whether that teacher is certified and you can renew them the next year with no problem, or if that teacher is certified and you have to go through a process where you have to document them out of that position, you have to be strategic about whether you want to retain that teacher or whether you want to recommend that teacher for non-renewal. And that happens. That's just all a part of the business. But also remember, principals, that we are not in the business of getting rid of teachers. We are in the business of growing teachers. It takes 1 to 5 years to develop a teacher. And if a teacher is struggling at the beginning, then it is incumbent upon us to provide them the kind of support that they need. I know you can give me all sorts of stories of teachers who, if they were just given a chance, if they would just be given the support, that they would have turned into an excellent teacher. But they weren't given the support. They weren't given the opportunity to have any leadership responsibilities. There was no collaboration. There was no one there to support them. The final thing, if you are a principal and you are in a school that is in need of improvement, or you are in an urban school, or you are in a rural school, then your next strategic move is your permanent substitute teachers. Now, everybody is pulling for and trying to find good permanent substitute teachers. We had problems getting permanent substitute teachers before the pandemic. So you know that it is tough right now. What's so strategic about that is that we need to recognize our substitute teachers and support them and give them everything they need to be a good teacher, the same way we would as a certified teacher. We know the reality is that we may not get another teacher. We have this permanent substitute teacher. We're going to give this permanent substitute all the support they need. We're going to let them know at the end of the school year whether their position is going to be filled and whether you have a good feeling that that position is going to be filled. Because remember, during the summertime, those people, unless they get a chance to work during the summer, they have to go and get a second job or a third job to make up for the pay that they're not getting when school is out. They have to have some sense of knowing that it's a great possibility that I'll be back at that school to substitute in a permanent position. And also, substitutes know at any time I may be moved once a certified teacher comes and they want to hire a person in that position. That is strategic. That is something that you're going to have to learn how to manage as a principal. And once you learn how to focus your interactions with your teachers by observing them and giving them the support, and once you are creating the kind of environment where they trust you, where everybody's on the same accord with your vision, and once you are strategic with managing your resources, you will see that you will be the principal that everyone goes to or everyone wants to work under, because you develop them and they are the teachers that you know that you can retain. So what I want you to do this week, my challenge for you principals, is for you to focus your time on helping teachers understand and use their data for instruction. Don't assume that they understand. I know we're in testing mode. I know we're in tutorial and we're in intervention. Focus on your time on helping the teachers understand and then using that data for their instruction. So they can take that information, take that data, bring that to the PLCs and have your instructional coach, or if you don't have an instructional coach, have someone there who understands the data, who can be right there helping your teacher. Don't assume that they know anything. Have your environment where they will feel comfortable and they will feel safe to know that they will get the support that they need in this critical time of preparing for testing. So what I also want to tell you is that if you are not a member of Principals on the Come Up, what are you waiting for? Or if you are a member of Principals on the Come Up, just go to that plus button and you can invite your colleagues, you can invite your teachers, your principals to come on and join Principals on the Come Up. Look at the link, hit the link, and so you can share the resources and be a part of our community. So as we close today, remember, we're Principals on the Come Up, where we transform schools into hallelujah success stories. We'll see you next time.